So my class is on the strategic use of dagger at close distance, okay? In particular, defense against dagger, unarmed defense against dagger at close distance. So kind of the same as yesterday, we're used to remedy, right? We're used to technique, we're used to plays. What we're not used to is actually just sitting in the distance and dealing with it. Now, just to be really clear, there's a couple of caveats, right? If you're unarmed versus someone with a dagger, you don't really want to spend too much time in distance unless you're doing something with that dagger, okay? But we all find ourselves there anyway, and that's when we get hit, okay? So what I'm talking about in the context of this is if I just use Nick, we're all used to being out here, we're used to waiting in posture, we're used to an attack, we're used to a master, and we're used to trying to do an action, okay? And if we can do actions, then we're getting good at this, and if we can't, then we've still got stuff to learn. But I'm in distance now, okay? And if this works or if it doesn't work, I'm in distance until I decide to get out, and sometimes I don't have a choice. This lesson is all around existing in this distance, okay? And minimizing the risk of being at this distance, okay? So what we're going to do is a couple of exercises to get your eye in, okay? And then we're basically going to layer a load of stuff on top. Like yesterday, I've broken it into a couple of different sections, but today we have a lot more time, okay? We've got some drills for you guys to do to help transition between different master covers. We've got some drills to do to help you decide when to grab an arm, when to deflect an arm. And then I want to do a really big piece around wide-spaced actions when you're really, really close to someone, okay? A default wide-spaced action. Don't worry about it now, we'll get to that, okay? So what we'll do first is masks, gloves, daggers, training daggers, rondels, those things are fine, or wood, whatever. And just because we've just had lunch, I just want you to throw in hard attacks at each other. 5 one way, 5 the other. And you guys can just use a master to close a line of attack. First master, fourth, third, whatever you want, okay? This is just us now warming up again after lunch, okay? Don't go hell for leather to start off with. We've got 2.5 hours of this, and I don't want you all collapsing on me at the end. All right, cool, go. Because this lesson isn't going to make much sense unless you're actually trying to hit each other, and I'll explain why. Because if they're not trying to hit you, it's a different kind of fight, and that's something we're going to focus on. So the next exercise, you're only allowed to use first master and third master, okay? And I haven't got mask on, but assume Nick's hitting me nice and hard, and I'm just going to cover a line of attack, okay? And if the attack's on the other side, or if I'm feeling bold, I'm just going to cover a line of attack. Notice I'm catching it on the palm of my hand, open hand on the palm. Why on the palm? Because I want to control it and do stuff with it, all right? On the palm of my hand, that's the ideal. If you make a cock up and you catch it there, it's not the end of the world, but that's not what we're aiming for. We're aiming for that. Okay? Nice and hard. First and third, keep scenario. Okay? This is a reactive, purely reactive scenario. Kind of like now in the modern street, in the modern environment, yeah? I've had a few people in clubs, whatever, try and hit me with improvised stuff. And it's just purely cover a line, react. Okay? And that's what I want to do with this. So instead of trying to figure out about controlling the arm when the attack comes in, instead of trying to focus on this bit, okay, because you know it's coming, I just want you to throw an arm out and react to it. To give that a bit of structure, a bit of context, I don't even care if you catch the arm or not, I just want you to close a line of attack, okay? Now remember my golden rule of dagger, only a moron expects a dagger fight and not get hit, okay? It's just the way it is. So he's going to bring that arm up, and what I'm going to do is just close a line of attack, right? I haven't controlled the weapon, we'll deal with that in a second. I'm just covering a line of attack, because this is a very common position for people, just, oh my god, it's a purely reactive defense, right? If I'm walking down the road and oh my god, he's got a dagger and he just throws that thing, that's the best I'm going to do, right? 9 times out of 10. So that's the exercise we're going to do now. But it's got to be a committed attack. If it's not, then I'm waiting, okay? It's a problem. Whoa, what have I done? Why have I caused you offence? What's going on? What's going on? You know, nothing's happening, we're just stale. No problem, no problem. I'll get a bit closer, whatever, I'll just cover a line of attack. That's all I'm interested in, because we're going to work off of this. Okay, so give that a go. So what I'm trying to do with that and the next bit is I'm trying to show you that sometimes you work with whatever position you find yourself in. So get your dagger ready. So we're moving, big hit comes in and close a line of attack, right? It's not perfect, it's not always going to be perfect, but from here I've got options, haven't I? Ligadura. Yeah, it's shit, but it's a bind. That's not going to be offending me anymore, right? This is a position we're all used to, no problem. And so on and so forth, right? If I'm a bit loose with that, a bit further out, I've got a line of attack, I've got to play there as well, and so on and so forth, okay? We're going to come back out into distance, because I want to show you how I have a default, basically a default defense from every single position that my arm will find itself in. This is before I get to techniques, and before I get to masters and reactive stuff, okay? The whole premise of my approach to dagger, and it is my favourite bit of the whole system, it's probably the bit that I'm the best at, is because my whole premise is to effectively apply your art in an environment, you have to be really comfortable with that environment. I spent my whole life, smaller than everybody else because I was this big when I started, I spent my whole life with people coming down on top of me with a dagger, really, really close, where they've got all of the reach advantage and I've got none. Okay, so this is, I'm building this up in basically the same way that I learned myself, right? So, take a step back, okay? He's going to have a dagger in his hand, we'll just pretend for a second, have the mask on, and you're going to do exactly this, right? Dagger attack comes in, you're going to basically cover this line. Regardless of what happens next, you're going to always take your arm around their arm and touch your own heart. That's it, okay? If the dagger attack now realistic off of the, so with your right arm, if it's to this side, I just cover a line of attack, round the arm, touch my heart, right? And we'll do this low as well in a second. So nice and low, cover a line of attack. This is not perfect, this is oh shit reactive. Round the arm, touch the heart. Yeah? And then the same on this side. So if you're attacked, I mean, it's rare you do that kind of attack, but round the arm, touch the heart. Now, if and we've done this quite a lot, so I've got loads of strips like this. If it's a low one, yeah, coming in, touching the heart, that is a strip, that's a disarm. Yeah? Same from the other side, yeah? Covering around, oh my god, what happened there? What the f is going on? Oh shit, I'm used to this. Round, and I've got control of the dagger, okay? Pull it away, it's hard to pull it away. I can do stuff with this, yeah? From the high attacks. Cover the line, it's not perfect, it's crude, I don't care, not going for anything fancy, no ligadura, this is a default, touch my heart, out of position. And then lastly from the other side, cover the line, round the arm, touch the heart. I don't care about anything down here, don't care about incidentals or whatever, because this is a reactive oh shit moment, right? Only an idiot will expect not to get hurt in some way. Give that a practice. So nice and close, cover forward good default options, but they appear everywhere. I always fall back to little things like that when I have a brain fart, okay? So for example, comes in, I try and do a perfect first master dagger, right? Now let's say I've been a bit slow, or he's just really good at this, and he swaps side on me. What have I got? I don't always have third master to fall into. I've missed that completely. Does it mean I stop? No. I've got a default, haven't I? Touch my heart. Yeah. And again, he's only there for a second. I'm not like, whoa, I'm winning. I'm onto the dagger, I'm stabbing him with it, and so on and so forth. When I'm in distance, because it's reactive, he's always going to have the upper hand when he's changing direction, because he's the one with the dagger, right? So he's the one that's going to kill me. So when you're up here and things are starting to fail and things are swapping, you've got to stay in this distance, but it's little, just swap sides, little default things like this that you start to figure out and find. And if you've got options at the end of them, it just makes you more effective. I mean, this is a third master, because I've caught it where I should have caught it. Yeah? You can't always rely on that. Okay, and you can build on this too. So for example, sometimes if I'm a bit unsure or I just can't think of a play to do when I need to, let's say he's thrusting at me, and we thrust at the face quite a lot in the school, don't we? Which is kind of a bit false, but in either case, you can set things up for yourself too. Like if you thrust here, if I just take it offline, it's the same principle, I just wrap it. So I always go back to like a default wrap, because I'm controlling it, yeah? One more time, let's get the chest though. So I'll come off and I'll just start wrapping stuff up, and then you start getting used to little things like disarms and stuff like that. It's all coming from these reactive what the fuck moments, right? So, we'll come back and revisit that towards the end, okay? What we're going to do now is get used to trying to, if you look at videos on YouTube of people who are surviving modern life attacks, there's a really good one actually from a couple of months ago about this poor soul on a bus who someone had attacked him with a knife. And all he managed to do, they were really close, and the guy just pulled out a knife, just managed to do this. And they were wrestling with it and wrestling with it. That's great, because he's got control of it. I mean, he wasn't trained or anything like that, but he didn't get stabbed, and in the end, he survived that encounter, so lucky him, right? What we're going to do, because I'm really big on controlling an arm, okay, we're going to just go for a quick exercise to help you decide when you should control and when you should cover, okay? So we're going to use 4th and 9th Master of Dagger. You're going to hang, just drop it on the floor for a second. You're going to hang back, okay? Same principle as before, right? Some of the attacks Nick's going to do are going to be shitty, woolly attacks, right? Just, yeah. And then he's going to send one in. And then you're going to basically just practice grabbing hold of that bloody arm. Yeah, and if it's a big high one, moving, yeah, well, modified flinch reaction is 4th master anyway. Practice getting hold of it and keeping hold of it, okay? Loads of options from here. But you make that decision. How I can make that decision, if I'm lucky enough to have distance, is I use that distance. If I'm stood here, I'm going to be trying to do that to everything, even the stuff that's false. Okay, so I'm moving back a little bit so that if he can hit me, he has to come in to my distance, which gives me time to react to it. So we're moving. I'm using distance with my friend, a couple of shitty ones, and then he goes for it, and I've failed. And we'll cover what happens when you fail in a second, because like I said, only an idiot expects never to get hit. Okay, you will miss these. I miss these. Okay, but have a practice when to come in and grab hold of that arm. We'll layer. Keep building. Right, fight's not over till it's over, is it? Yeah. So let's just do it from the low example, okay? Because the top, when you're high, it's a little bit different because you're looking to transition between those wide space default actions, and we gave one example of about 1 million, or your masters, okay? But let's take the low example. So it's a couple of feints, you're not sure, he thrusts in and I miss it, right? You don't stop because you miss it. I mean, you could be dead straight away, in which case it's just your unlucky day, right? It doesn't mean you stop. If you've got something on there, even if you've slipped through, okay, and it hasn't landed on something, you carry on, okay? If we all get used to stopping here, it's no good, is it? You carry on. I gave you an option on how to carry on already. My right hand's slightly above my left, so I'll come around it and I'll touch my heart. Yeah? That's why I'm chucking in those little default options, okay? Now, the thing about catching when you're controlling it is you don't stay there for very long ever, okay? There's two main issues with people stopping a dagger like that. Okay? Apart from the fact that we're all doing it for pretend, which does change things versus real, but there's two main problems with people stopping a dagger. We'll just high or low, we'll do low. So they will catch it and they'll hang around here for too long. Okay? Got to move and think outside of the box. Nick's taller than me, he's bigger than me. This is not a good tussle I want to be in. It's because it's risk. Even if I win, the risk is too high. So there's two things I need to do. I either need to get used to getting rid of this straight away. So I've covered it, I'll wait one second, I'll just turn in that bad boy. Exactly like Fury shows us, whatever. Or if I'm a bit uncoordinated and it's all happening a bit too quick, or I'm a bit closer and things are looking a bit disjointed and I'm worried about this, start making circles. Right, just start making circles. Okay? Because I'm controlling it. I can control that long enough to just, oh, there's my default option, no problem. I got my strip, or whatever. Yeah? Start making a circle. Exactly the same when it's high. Two, if you catch it, let's say you're starting to interfere with what's going on, it's starting to push it. I'm not gonna, look, that's so risky, man. Why would I want to stay there? Fuck that, make a circle. Make a circle. Oh my god, this is basically like Third Master Dagger. Make circles, change what you do. Don't fight for something you're not going to win, especially in one of these when you haven't got one. Yeah, because you will get nailed. Okay? That's the exercise we're going to do now. So don't even set it up. Literally just grab a hold of the arm. He's going to say go, and I'm just going to make circles. Yeah, gently, because I don't want to break anything. Just make circles. And while I'm making circles, get used to trying to pull it out. And then we'll do the same from high as well. So I'll secure the hold. You can say when to go. I'm either going to make circles or strip it. Yeah, so we're moving, we're just going to strip it. Just strip it out. And notice when I strip things out, I always step back a little bit as well. The reason why I do that is because his left arm is following me. Is if I strip it out, cover my arm. Yeah? Whereas if I'm nice and high, I'm fighting, I strip it out this way. What are you going to do now? Yeah? Because I've taken it out this distance. So, those two principles. Start from the hold, he says go, or she says go, make a circle, or strip it if you know the system really well. Then do the same from above. Spend a few minutes on this because there's a lot at the end, hopefully. Don't underestimate just walking forward with something either, okay? So we were doing, for example, just high, right? We were starting off like this, because you've got in control, hard part's done, all right? Don't be afraid to just walk things. You know, Fury's got a lot of places where he's doing this sort of stuff. Yeah, you can do that after the fact, okay? You don't have to cover in a master and then push it on. Yeah, you can do it from other places, and you can also do it after a bit of a tussle as well. Don't be afraid to walk forward with things. I do this a lot. You know this strip here? Doesn't have to work with the slight pull back like I do. You can also do it coming forward as well. So if you start chicken winging the arm, it's got no strength. And this is the subtleties of dagger fighting. Remember, this is all in distance now. I don't really want to be here, okay? But I'm here anyway. He's going to use that second arm. He's going to grab hold of stuff when he's going to start pushing things. So I'll find the area that I'm the strongest in. If he's pushing me this way, I probably don't want to go backwards as I'm trying to strip, because what will happen is as I'm stripping, I'll just push the arm off. Yeah? So instead, that arm's starting to come up whenever I'm going to walk forward with it. I'm going to take him to a place where he's not very strong. And this looks bad for me, but I'm the one with a dagger now. Yeah? Exactly the same from a low thrust. Gloves are not your friend here. Gloves make this much harder. But I've caught it down low. It doesn't take much to strip a dagger off for someone like this, right? I've heard you've got really strong forearms, so it might not work with you. But it doesn't take much. You can basically strip with a finger if you know what you're doing, right? But what happens, as is almost inevitable, is I catch it low, he knows I've defended it, he's going to start using that arm. I'm not going to push against the arm, punch with the head, whatever. This is not the position I want to be. But look, all this space, just go forward with it. So before we have a break, practice that. Same position, nice and high, okay? Rather than rolling it, turning it, let's assume that they're starting to manipulate and interfere with your body with their offhand, okay? Can't go that way anymore, at least not with a high degree of success. Just come forward. And I do that all of the time. Next tournament, he's that way. Yeah, because I already know, we know the same system. And we trained together for 15 years. So I know he's not going to let me do a strip out here. So we just start walking forward.
Everyone's all tired.
Everybody's tired. Everybody's tired. Look, we've got Q&A at the end of this, isn't it? Why am I giving you these little bits to take away? Because the difference between an average dagger person and a really good one isn't very much, but it makes a lot of difference when they're actually trying to apply their art. Okay? We're all doing this, we're all pretending, right? Because we're not actually trying to kill each other, and that is a massive, massive difference. If he's pissed and he wants to kill me quick, he's not going to dick around. He's going to throw that bad boy in. That's what Fury is working on. Okay? He's not going to show you all the stuff before that because he doesn't care about it, because I don't care about it. All right? The ways to deal with uncommitted attacks are really straightforward. You wait. Okay? Simple. But I'm showing you this stuff to take it away because things never go to plan. And like I always say, like I said last year, like I say in all my vlogs, fighting is a series of trained responses. Okay? I've done this a long time, right? And the amount of times that I'll try a first master cover in the heat of the moment and I'll do it like that, which is not right, it's not correct. It doesn't mean I stop, okay? Trained responses. I know from here I still got first master techniques to apply, okay? Brain takes over, I try and apply them, okay? The reason why people suck at dagger sparring is because they neglect to do the what if, okay? And they don't spend enough time in the distance that matters. It's all out here. Do my cover, I'll do my technique, and I'll step back again and reset. That's not how this works. Okay? Second part of the class, I want to show you about transitioning when you're in distance, okay? Because first martial art, just for argument's sake, I've made a cover, right? And he's starting to get his second hand onto that, okay? Suddenly now, almost every first master play I've got is not going to work. He's above me, he's got strength, he's got the dagger, so he's always going to be, in principle, the first mover. Okay, Ligadira from here, none of that's going to work, right? Abandon it. But I can't abandon it in the way that most amateur martial artists want to, which is to step back. Okay, can't do that. Not if he's trying to kill me, and even in sparring, guaranteed, if I step back, he's just going to follow me and I'm going to get nailed. Oh well, you win today. That's not the approach you're after. I've got choice. So, make my first master cover, he's going to come up onto it, right? Massive danger zone time. So, my other option is to come from first into third. It's a wide-spaced action, but I'm putting myself back into a place of familiarity. Okay? And because I've done this for a while, I know that if I'm doing this, it's transition over, I know I've got plays there. Okay? And if I don't have a play there, what did we just do? We did a, oh shit, I've ended up not quite in the perfect position, but I've still got options. From here, I'm still going to wrap that. I'm still going to wrap that. Yeah? Because it's control. No problem. Back into a position of familiarity. So I'm going to teach you a little drill which I've nicked from another martial art that works really well. We've done it for a long time, and we're going to then do the drill and then try and apply that to our dagger. So you can drop that. Okay. If anybody can name the martial art this comes from, it's a Brucey bonus point. So, hammer fist comes in. I'm going to cover it like this, okay? It's not first master, it's a what if, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come underneath and I'm going to push it. Okay? So what Nick's going to do is he's going to basically, I'm going to hammer fist at Nick, and he's going to basically do the same thing. First master, second master, third master. Okay? Push it down. Always push elbows. See enough where you push it. Right hand comes in. First master, second master, third master push. Then we can keep doing this over and over again. Yeah, this is one exercise at least to get used to moving to stuff in distance. And look, third master, and so on and so forth. Okay? One more time. So, hammer fist. Cover it. Second master to start the push. Third master. And then because he's an elbow, push it. My own hammer fist. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Give it a go. To prove a point, now let's put it into some theory-based context, okay? We kind of started to set that up anyway, so if you grab it down here. So, Either I've been really close and he's brought that bad boy up and I've just reacted to it, or things have been perfect, I've seen it come in, I've maintained distance, I've waited for the attack that I want and I've covered it, okay? Regardless of the two approaches, my left arm is up and I've stopped the thing, okay? Nick tries to then chuck a second arm onto it, like I've explained. Nothing from first master is going to work here anymore. So what you guys are going to do is practice going from first to third. Now we do this a lot in schools anyway, but we're going to do it in a couple of different ways, okay? So first of all, we're going to do it in a very clean way. So I'm up here, I'm literally just going to practice swapping from one side to the other. Kind of like the drill we just did, which is the point of the drill. That is nice and controlled. I know what I'm doing, I'm comfortable here, I know it's time to switch my master, okay? So that's perfect scenario number one. We'll come up, second arm goes up, I'm just going to transition onto the other, okay? Because now I'm all working on the outside. All my third master stuff can work from there, no problem, okay? Have a quick practice at that, keep swapping over, because it's about when it's right to do things as well. Just because it's an oh shit, things aren't going perfect, that doesn't mean you can't still use your judgment, all right? And experience gives you judgment. So, make the first master cover. Whether it's perfect or whether it's a mess, doesn't matter. He starts to reach up on it. Now, if he's in the process of reaching up, I'm reacting now, it's my reactive stage. Here, I can still transition to third, no problem, because there's no pressure going on here. And my brain knows that first master's gone, I'll switch it up. Right, switch it up, I've got access to all my third master, or most of my third master. But, let's say we're wrestling and I've been a bit slow, or he's grabbed on that bad one, he starts to apply pressure. I can't make the transition to third from here because he's applying pressure. So the minute I start to relax to switch, it's too big a risk. Too big a risk. Experience tells me, push, push, push. I can weather that for a second at least fourth. There's fourth master, and then all my fourth master plays. Yeah? So just have a quick practice at that now. But you make the decision. So come up, first master, no problem. He grabs hold of it. If there's pressure, just go straight into fourth. Because you need two hands versus two hands. Okay? Now, from here, Nick, we know the same system, and he's definitely still got the advantage, because he's over the top of me, and he's still got the weapon. I don't have the weapon anymore. From here, loads of options, loads of default options. Wrap an arm. No, I'll get that. No problem. Wrap an arm. I've suddenly got dagger. And all I did was wrap the arm. I don't even have to think about it. It's there. Yeah? You make the decision. Pressure coming in, fourth master. No pressure coming in, third master. You just have to really drive that point home. Second master, okay? Better in armor than out. Why do we think? Well, that's been for Texas this morning. Sorry, second master. Why do we think better in armor than out? Everybody's right. Okay. Yeah, because you're cutting down on distance, because there's a risk that you can get nailed in the head if you don't come offline enough. But if you're unarmored and close, it's a very, very accessible option. Because it's much easier for me to come offline here, bosh, than it is for me to come offline out here. Because I've got a longer space to travel and it can trap me a little bit. Okay? So that's a bit of a risk doing out here. But if I'm nice and close, it's a reactive one. Arm goes up, I'll beat them to the punch there, because I'm still coming offline. Okay? Some knife fighting systems actually have this basic same cover, okay? And it's all about control. But what you guys are going to do is the way we do it in training, okay? I'm just using that as an example. So, you're going to be kind because there's no mask. You're going to come up as if to do a fendente, and I'm just going to drift forward. Now, the whole thing about second master, did you do a video on this, Tom? I did. Watch Tom's vlog on this, is that you're coming offline, but you're coming into it, okay? You're not waiting for it to develop. But what about our oh shit moment? So let's say, drift out, keep your body still. Let's say I've caught out here, there's not many options, I've still got some strips and stuff like that. Let's just say it's not working great for me. Well, he says, all first, and all third, still. So practice that. I'm giving you things to take away, right? There's no point in coming here and just learning a bunch of techniques, so I like to give you things to take away. Some of this will stick, okay? If you don't know it already, because, you know, we've got some pretty senior people in this class now, some of it will stick, hopefully, all right? But this is effectively the journey that I went through. Starting very young, very small. This is all the stuff that I've carried with me over the years. Different systems as well. Did some nice things, stick fighting. Couple of things though, little things, always like little things. If you're doing an exercise like this and it's not the kind of attack you need, don't be afraid to tell them or do something else. For example, if Nick does a fendente, okay, that's fine. That's fine for my second master. Okay, no problem. If he's attacking really, really high, I'll do fourth, because second is not going to work. Don't be afraid to do what you should be doing. Don't blindly do something if it's wrong, okay? Because that's bad habits. And then just say, oh, dude, I'm much shorter than you. Why are you attacking me all that? Yeah, I'm not Exiles. Tell them. Don't be afraid to tell them, because you don't want to train in your bad habits, right? So that's a little thing there. So what I'm trying to do with this class, just to again just emphasise a little bit, is I'm trying to give you little things to take away from all what happens in the mid-range. Because it's stupid to think, right, especially because we know the same system, but it's stupid to think that he's going to attack me with a dagger and I'm going to come along, do a nice, perfect first master cover, do my disarm, do my hammer fist, and I'm living, right? That's only going to happen if he's got absolutely no clue what he's doing, right? He's literally just on the street opportunist, okay? Or we've been doing some sword fighting in the barriers, he's disarmed my weapon, I've disarmed his, and he's pulled out the dagger, and then I've gone bosh, and it's one of those quick, yeah, I've been dead lucky, I've got my strip working. Okay, there's a reason why some systems start like this. Okay, you can reasonably assume that it's not going to just let you disarm him easily. Okay, and that's what we need to think about. To take your martial art forward, you need to think about all the what ifs and actually how to apply your art. It's not just a collection of techniques. Okay, that's like this much. Right, getting in close and dealing with it. Right, and then we'll change tack completely. So, do we all know the counter to the first play of First Master Dagger? Second play, depending on how you look at the manuscript, so I've got to allow for non-excellent. But strike comes up, come into it, nice and aggressive, it's just the right attack, the right thing that I need. Whatever I'm doing now, when I'm starting my turn, he's going to do the counter. And he's going to come up on the inside line and he's going to nail me. Just a quick thing about that counter as well. As you're coming up, there's little twists and turns, right? Keep hold of it, nice tight grip. This is not going to work, this is not going to work. It will, okay, it did work, but maybe it wouldn't, okay? The twist isn't a big twist like that. It's a little twist like this. That'll work. Okay, little things. But doesn't matter. I need an option, don't I? Because, like I said, only a moron is going to let me take his dagger like this to start off with. Either he's a moron or he's got actually no clue what he's doing, right? So as he starts that little twist, I know what's going on, and I'm going to basically just zone away. Now I'm doing it with my left arm, so I'm talking to you. But what should I have done then?
Go third master.
Third master. Third master, then I'm back to a position I'm at least comfortable with, okay? And I like this one, I do this a lot, because everybody wants to counter the instructor, right? Just cover it and walk forward, okay? Now back into third master plays again, okay? It's not perfect, it's not clean, but it's better than him stabbing me, and that's the thing I want you to take away, is something is always better than nothing, okay? So give that a go. Okay? Being real now, aren't we? So this isn't a perfect training hall type situation, we're being real. So grab us a dagger. All right. Remember I said earlier on, you don't stop because you get hit. That's the harsh reality of it, okay? So, attack comes in. What gives me the extra time is that I grab it. He'll still win, or he should still win, unless I got arms like Axel. Start the turn. It gives me extra time. Having hold of it gives me extra time to transition. But, let's say he's preempting me, which he shouldn't be doing, but we've got to allow for that possibility, because we can't always dictate how the person's going to hit you. Okay? Just because you get hit, it doesn't mean you stop. There, I've missed that completely. It's a threat, There's not a lot of power in this, but it's not going to be pretty. Okay? You don't stop. Don't stop. Wrap. Strip. You don't stop. If you've been stabbed down here, chances are you don't feel it right away anyway. Okay? Like, I've read hundreds of thousands of accounts of this, hundreds, 2,000s of accounts of this kind of thing. And most of the time when people get stabbed, they just think they've been punched really hard. It's not until afterwards, after that adrenaline's faded away, that's when they go, oh my God, I'm bleeding. Right? Just because you get hit, it doesn't mean you stop. If you get hit and you're dead, well, then you've got no option. We keep going. So, this is an example of what the fuck. Oh my God, I've missed that completely. Okay? He's been nice, but he'd be driving that home. If it's down here, I'm probably good. Get on top of it, wrap it, roll it over, and get used to training that. If we're all training to be close to the art, we've got to train it as it was intended to be applied, okay? This isn't sport, this is war. So we carry on. So I want you to do that just real quick as an exercise. I just chuck this in real quick, based on the quick observation I just made. Grab it, gives me extra time. I've missed it. Don't stop, just roll it. Okay? Now, because Nick's bigger than me, and because my hands are battered to shit, I'm not going to get that back because I've got no strength in my hand anyway, so I'm just going to push with 2 hands. Yeah, little things, and that's an easy transition to make, and he's dead. Next bit, never underestimate the importance of using your off hands, okay? So, should we set this up? No, let's do first master anyway, because it's just the easy one to do. So, strikes come in, I've caught it perfectly though, I've grabbed it, but I'm now in distance, okay? Now let's say he's really talented at this, and just none of this stuff's gonna work, right? Options, options, options. Don't underestimate the importance of this. Now, I'm a striking man at heart, as most of you know, but don't underestimate the importance of just pushing shit and getting stuff working, right? So that's exactly what you're going to do now. You're going to start off from here, okay? You've got a couple of options depending on your in-depth knowledge of the system. You can either just do the first plate, no problem, or you can try to wind on that defender. Try and wind on a Libadura, no problem. But Nick's going to resist. So resist, just push it ahead, just see what happens. No, watch, no watch. Because give me something else to think about. You can apply that principle everywhere, right? Gav's not here today, but Gav's probably our biggest dude in barking. If he does a low stab, and I'm like this with my little fragile, battered hands, I find it really hard to get disarms on Gav because he's so big, so I just boot him in the leg and then I'll do my disarm. Don't underestimate the importance of doing something different, okay? So in this context, we'll do it from, actually we'll do both, but anyway, first master first. Up here, get yourself all set up, nice and positioned perfectly, right? Try and find the first place, not happening. To be nice, just give him a push, but obviously, you know, you're going to chill him, right? Gosh, and you're going to get it anyway, all right? Give it a go. But see how distracting just pushing the head is. You'll get it, you'll get a play, no problem. So, just look, this isn't rocket science, right? That stuff isn't rocket science. As I say, I always use the thing. It's not mine, I nicked it, but God gave you two arms to use it, right? You're not just going to, hey, I'm just going to try and, it's up there to use a first master anyway, but if you've got it, absolutely use it. And that happens absolutely everywhere. Third master, right? We catch it, boom, we start something, maybe he's coming up for the counter. I'm not going to let him do the counter, I'm the good guy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let him do the counter. So don't underestimate, the counter starts getting on, grab hold of it. And then what am I doing? Exactly what we did earlier on. My arms are outside, I can go this way. Then he can turn. And
that pulled
also, situationally, use the shit around you.
I apologise to it, Ivan. You hurt it.
Totally style that out. But yeah, so don't be afraid to use your second arm, okay? And it doesn't have to be the big strong actions either. It can be very subtle. So same one. So pull it up, right? I'll start with, you come on to this. It can be subtle. It doesn't have to be a big action either, right? Because again, you can use little things to start finding people up. Look, gosh, there's no problem. I can pull this out because I'm kicking him. I'm collapsing shit. He's not going absolutely anywhere from there. You know what I mean? You get used to wrapping things in that distance. It's not perfect. What I want to do is perfect. Catch it. There's a play. That's what I want to do. Of course I do. Yeah? But, you know, it's not going to happen. Good counter for me. It's a good one, actually. Because you know that I'm probably going to try and break your arm, punch the inside of your elbow to break it, right? I'm not breaking it anymore. I can't get to strong key because you're already behind. You're already behind me. So options. Can't go to strong key. Can't go to strong key. So just do what I taught you this morning. Rapid. Just rapid. Yeah. Options. Take a break and we'll do the next bit. Okay. Great. Nick's head. Nick's slowly dying. So, Mr. Ivan. Let's do. I like a bit of a tangent. Let's do a little bit on disarms, right, real quick. Because they're really important. If you take the dagger off them, they can't stab you with it. So we'll do it from fourth master. We'll do the two disarms from fourth master. We'll just do them straight up and then we'll add a bit of texture. So strike comes in, fourth master. Oh shit, modified flinch reaction. It's exactly what it's for. Remember the vlog though. I always go one side of my head, or if I want this side of his body, I'll go this side of my head. I don't care about this. Okay, care about that. So if he punches me, I'm not bothered. It's just tough, right? So. First of all, do it like that, okay? So, the strip we're going to do to start off with is we're going to control the wrist and we're basically just going to take hold of this, we're going to pull this down, push this up, but we're going to do it as the whole motion comes down, right? I have a pretty high success rate with this strip, because what I'm not doing is hold on to it and trying to push it out. Not going to work, not going to work. Remember, I've been doing this since I was very small. It's not going to work against a fully grown person when you're very small, okay? So like this. So what I started to do was push, pull, but as the whole action come down. And then look, his left arm is not a bother to this anymore. I can stab him now, yeah? Whereas if I do it up high, first of all, it's a struggle, and even if I do get it, Yeah, you don't want to that too. But let me get it, just pretend. Let me get it, let me get it. Yeah, he can still cover it. Because his left arm is still in play. Little things with Dagger. Little things. Strip it, put it back. Now, if you find... Axel. Where is it? Big guy. Right. All the stuff we've been learning. Yeah? Right. So, let's see if it works first of all. Yeah, it's not going to work. Right? Tough tits. I've got to deal with it. So, I'm going to bring it down because you're reacting now, so relax a little bit. Bring it down, but it's not going to work. So what are my options? Turn. That'll work. Yeah? Give it a go. Work for the script first. Okay? Thanks, buddy. Sorry, I keep the more complicated you make something, the more risk it has. Doesn't necessarily mean you can't be bullshit. Remember, I think Luke said earlier on, noble Italian, right? I'm going to kick your ass in a really flary, fashionable way. But, so did we start to do it on? Yeah, okay. So, fourth master. This is, again, just one example of a million, right? Too high, but I caught it. Okay, so we're there. Right, I'm going to try for this. Nice quick transition, okay? So if he's particularly compliant, I've made the master, I'm just stripping it. Didn't work, oh my god. Right? Didn't work, oh my god. Okay? Wrap in by all means, but don't make it too complicated. Get used to things like this. I've got my thumb up, change it. That will definitely, 100%, never met a person that can resist that. Okay? Even Axel can't resist that. Can you, Axel? Yeah? Because I'm here, look. I've tried it. It's not happening. It's not happening. And it's a bit artificial because we all know it's coming now. Yeah, so yeah, it's easier to resist it. Not happening, not happening. I'll wrap it up because I'm zoning away. If I can get a bit of an injury there, no problem. Don't be afraid to let go of stuff and use the leverage. Yeah, I'll get it, and then I'm safe again. I mean, it's a bit hard to stab him with it, but it's heavy. It's a 2-pound bit of steel. You're going to wear it in your mouth. Yeah, so don't be afraid to analyse. I'm not making this too complicated. Yeah? We'll do the same from 9th or 8th. Getty? Getty? Or... So 8, 9. Sweet. 9th then. Stab comes in. Dead. Stab comes in again. React to it. Still dead. What do? I don't, if I'm still living, I'm moving. I'm not stopping because I've been hit. That'll do it. That's it, right? Right over left, nothing, no gap there, nothing to come through. A couple of strips from here. The one that we tend to do the most of is going through the small of the hand like this, the gap in the fingers. Okay? Now, this has a high success rate if they don't know it's coming. Okay? Because you just strip it, and the quickest point from A to B is that. Don't overcomplicate it, right? If I take it out, okay, we'll do the other bit in a minute. If I take it out and I start thinking about this, you're just going to cover it. Yeah, and it's just increasing the difficulty of trying to stab it, right? Don't overcomplicate it. Make the stop, do the turn, stab in the shortest distance possible, especially if he's armoured or underneath, no problem. But, again, try for that. If it doesn't work, we're going to do a quick hand transition the same way we were just doing, so keep a really tight grip of it. Really hold it. Yeah? I'm not going to strip that, you know it's coming, so just turn it. Just change the grip. No problem. And that's what I want you to do now, okay? One more time. Right hand to come. Catch it. I'm going to give it a time for the gap. If it works, happy days, no problem. Stab, stab, stab. If it doesn't work, let's pretend that can't strip it, can't strip it. Up onto the top and just twist it. No worries. Bosh, bosh. And maybe back to bastoncello. It's a short stick now. Yeah? Give it a go. We're only here when we make mistakes, so... Nothing coming. So we're only here when we make mistakes. So we go for the perfect, don't we? Stab comes in, drop down onto it, and we try and go for the small of the fingers. Right? And if it works, then go. If it works, job done. And we give him a stab right for the armpit. No problem. And we keep stabbing, keep stabbing, keep stabbing. Or he knows what's coming, or he's got a very strong grip. Not happening, so I transition up. Notice little things that you pick up again over time, right? I'm trying for this. I know it's not going to work, and I make the decision really quickly. Even if there's a little bit of resistance and I think maybe I could get it out, forget about it. Time to move on. But little things, look, I just move up, but I maintain the pressure. So I know the dagger's where I need it to be. Wrench it out, okay? Now, I've met one person, an armourer, Kevin Lake. 50, you know Kevin? Kevin Lake, the armourer. Tall guy. Yeah, Plessis armourer. Years ago I tried to do loads of strips to him. Because he's an armourer, I couldn't get the dagger out of his hand. Nothing I did got that dagger out of his hand. So we have to allow for that possibility. I'm up here and it's just not happening. Or It's starting to come on now. I've taken too long. I'm starting to put this on. All entirely possible options. So, what did I do from earlier in the lesson? Come underneath, come over the top, always back to my heart. There's a strip. No problem. And if things get messy down here, gosh, we're messing, punch, I've always got it as an option. Back to the heart the whole time. Okay? So give that a go. Come under, come back to the heart. See what you get. It's about also reacting to what you can see, right? I'm giving you a couple of options from each, but same thing. That's one thing. Stick with it because it's a theme, right? The bit I'm aiming for is this. I want to get that moving. We've explored the fact that it's not happening, so I change it up. Maintain the pressure so I know where it is, you know, because it's all in a frenzy, isn't it? Try and get the leverage. Really strong forearms now, not happening. He's definitely not going to let that just stand there, sit there and do nothing. Now, options. He's done a wrong in there because he's come onto my arm. This is the most important bit. No, stand there. You chose it, you own it, right? He's come onto my arm, but I still want the dagger. Nothing changes for me. We come underneath and we come over the top and we get our strip, okay? Let's go. Right, I'm onto the end of it, okay? Now let's say he comes onto the dagger. Right, this is the weak arm because it's in the middle of the dagger. The strong arm because it's at the end of the dagger. Okay, and this is at the end that he needs to hold to stab me with the other end. So from here, nothing changes, but Ivan is bigger than I am. Okay? Sometimes you've got to mix it up a little bit. So for me, I'll come underneath this way. Okay? I'll come underneath the arm that's the biggest threat to what I want to achieve. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is down here, it's a shed ton of options for stripping stuff. What happens, look, here, that one. So maybe I'll come underneath, take that, come underneath and take this one. Yeah? And we do this a lot, don't we? It all works, it's all there. It's just, this is what you do when things are not ideal. Keep moving, keep turning around. And if it all goes completely south, back to what we did this morning, earlier on. Just roll it and take it, Okay? Second master. As that comes in, I come offline. Okay? Come offline up here. You might need marks for this. The strip from here is simply to pass it this way. Okay? With a bit of a difference. Okay? I always did this technique with a step and a roll. Like that. So I pull it through. Because again, it's very good. So, with a mask on, that's what you want to do. Press it and get out of the habit. We all do this. I watch this all the time. We all try and do it out here. Keep hold of it, Ivan. Keep hold of it. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. So if I want that strip, I've got to change it or I've got to do something else. But nothing's going to happen out here. Yeah? Will if I step. Will if I step with it. Okay? Strongest man in the world probably couldn't resist that. And with a mask on, get used to this too. Tend to cover your eyes with your hand. I'm going to hit him on the face. In the face. On the way for I caught it, push it through his face. If I get an elbow as well, brilliant. I'm going to wrap it up and then I'm going to come out with it. Yeah? This is an important technique because you find this at distance when you're coming in, nice and easy. You find this out here, gosh, and you wrap it. Yeah? You also find this when you're really close as well. If I've been doing a good whatever I'm here, yeah, I can still find this strip really close, sign it away. Okay? So have a practice of that. Second master, try that strip and try and really push it through. Okay? So listen, a bit of a whistle-stop tour about, look, I like you to take away principles, right? The principles I'm trying to get across in this context, they're massive, right? You can really expand on them to the cows come home. What I want you to go away and think about is what to do when things don't go the way you want them to. Listen, dagger fighting is a mess. It's going to be a mess. Two frenzied people. There's all the rules about stopping frenzied attacks, controlling the arm. The reason why we're so big on cover it and grab it is because I don't want him to put it back and use it again and use it again. All of that stuff is key, right? All of the plays, absolutely key. Distance management, absolutely key. But it will still go wrong, okay? And the better you get, the less it goes wrong, but it's always going to go wrong. So the principles I want you to take away are, it's easier if in training, when you do a technique, you take it to a conclusion. You don't have to be a dick about it. But, for example, if you're back in your school's training and just do fourth master strip, no problem, right? Stab him with it, get used to stabbing him with it, right? Because otherwise what will happen is you'll do it in sparring or training or whatever, you'll do this and you go, oh, that worked. Oh, yeah, I better stab him. Yeah, exactly. And by that point he's moving or he's punching you in the face. And if you try for a disarm, and it doesn't work, don't just go, try again. Let me try that again. Because we all do it, don't we? Yeah, okay. I'll try the one my teacher told me to try, which is the script. It's not working. He won't mind you just quickly doing this and resetting yourself. No problem. Don't learn the bad habits at training, okay? There is no other summary than that, basically. Some of this will hopefully stick, okay? A lot of it just takes loads of time, and everybody, me included, we get it wrong all the time. Dagger is a really hard distance to master. Once you've got the distance, the rest is easier, but it's so hard. And the reason why it's such a massive part of the manuscript is because it's giving you everything you need to do the rest of it. That's why there's 6 or 7 dagger techniques, and the sword is smaller, the poleaxe is smaller, yeah, because everything's rooted in the dagger. Okay? Is there any questions? Anything that wasn't clear? Again, same as last year, almost everyone's an Exiles, so none of this should be new. Perfect, thanks for your attention.